that's not a comedian, but I want you to know two things. This is my first time doing something like this, so I'm very nervous. The second thing is this is not my first language, so try to bear with me. So hi again, my name is Jeison Gonzalez. Last September I taught my first class to American children. I've taught many people in my life. I'm from Colombia and I've taught Colombians of all kinds. The penniless, the privileged, kids, and working professionals. I've also taught people from all around the world, from Europe, Asia, the United States, but never American kids. It wasn't until I got into an American school that I started to understand those troubling trends that I had observed in the 2 years since I arrived. I saw a nation taking a step backwards in terms of freedom, equality, and prosperity. I saw a lack of community and compassion. I saw all this as an educator, and I thought, this is our fault. The shaping of society is our job. If you listen to the public discourse of education, you'll see that it is a disaster. At least that's the impression that you get. And to some extent, that's true. So something's wrong with education, but nobody's talking about it. Everyone's talking about big reforms in terms of standards, funding, accountability. But there's a much more fundamental problem, and it is that what our schools are missing is humanity. Let me explain what I mean by humanity. When you go to school to become a teacher, you learn about the content knowledge of your subject. You learn about pedagogical techniques. You may even learn about developmental psychology. But what you don't learn is how to handle a student that comes into your classroom and is hungry because there's nothing to eat at home, or is angry because she had a fight with her best friend last night, or is distracted because there is a big game that day. You also never role play what to do with the student that comes into your classroom and just doesn't want to listen to what you have to say, or that other student that just can't get enough. That is the real work of education. Building good relationships with your students so that you can support their personal growth. Everyone knows that teacher quality is the most important thing. Unfortunately, our concept of teacher quality is just what the teacher knows and what the teacher can do. But what's just as important, if not more, is who the teacher is as a person and those attitudes towards education that he can cultivate in his students. That is the human element that education is neglecting. The good news is that we do not need money to fix it. It only takes a change of mindset on the part of educators. The bad news is that we cannot fix it with money. Because there is nothing simple about changing the mindset of a large amount of people on something as fundamental as their profession. But I'm going to try here today with the people in this room. So we're talking about the human elements of education, and let's talk about the human beings involved in the act, the teacher and the student. Yes, there are administrators and parents and other people who sometimes play a role. But let's stick to the essentials. And the only two essential people are the teacher and the student. Let's focus on the teacher first. From my experience, the average teacher, the typical teacher, is someone who is distant, frustrated, and tired. Someone who's always looking forward to the end of the day. Someone who has like the best intentions, but is just not having fun. And whose teachers and whose students, and when the students like have deeper learnings, is in spite of them and not because of them. And all these attitudes that the teachers bring into the classrooms are just undermining learning and not inspiring it. The students of these teachers will most likely just come into the classrooms and memorize the content, take the tests, and move on with their lives unaffected by their experiences with them. I have higher goals than this. I want my students to really appreciate the meaning of learning a foreign language. I want my students to really use what they learn in the classroom outside the classroom. I want my students to grow to be people that can create a happy and just society. And I know that your goals are probably similar to those. And achieving them is no easy task. It requires for us to bring the right human qualities into the classrooms. And there are 3 essential qualities that every great teacher should have. And the first one is love your subject. Enthusiasm is contagious. It inspires interest. And interest is essential for learning. It motivates you to keep advancing on your field, making you a model of lifelong learning. The second one is care about your students. Education is more than conveying information. So, find out what the interests of your students are, and find out who they are outside the school, how they live. Really care about their welfare. And you'll see that when you listen to people and you pay attention to them, they'll return the favor. The last one is live authentically. There is no room for false perfection or authority in the classrooms. It only alienates the students. So be genuine, but most importantly, be honest with yourself. If teaching is your passion, then try to greet Monday mornings with a smile and not with tired complaints. If it is not, consider another profession. Any classroom without passion is going to be just a painful place for both you and your students. Now we see that's how the typical teacher neglects the human qualities of education. But they are just one side of the equation. What about our students? What they bring to the table? The average student in the average classroom is someone who is distracted, who is also looking forward to the end of the day, who's hassled and barely engaged. But no child walks into the first day of kindergarten feeling this way. They develop these attitudes in the school. And they start to hate education. So it's our job to change the environment of the schools and try to make the schools not that place that is killing their natural curiosity, but the place that is supporting and motivating better qualities. So let's transform our schools into places that teach and support 3 essential beliefs. The first one is school is for real life. Most students experience school as a place where they go and study irrelevant topics and then they forget about them. And what it should be is a place where they go to explore the world and themselves. So it's the teacher's job to create this 2-way flow of knowledge in which the students take what they learn in the classroom and they can take it outside the classroom and use it. And when they bring these experiences from home, from their friends, in their lives, and they share them in the classroom. The second one is that character is fundamental. Education today prioritizes skills and knowledge over character. But what is more important? To learn to read at grade level or to treat others with respect? We must teach our students that values are the core of education. And this cannot be done in isolated moments. We have to model it 24/7, and we have to integrate it to everything we do in the schools. And finally, education is power. But too many students see it just as babysitting or job training. And this view makes them dependent on a constant hand-holding from teachers. We must teach our students that education is more than a path to a comfortable life. It grants them the possibility to choose their own destiny. And when they believe this, they take ownership of their learning and they grow as people. We all know that our education system can and should do better. Education should be the force that guides us to a better future. And the process itself should be fun and rewarding. Students get to explore the world and develop their minds, and teachers get to guide them and watch them grow. To make this dream a reality, we need to start by remembering our humanity. Change doesn't start at the top with the politicians and the administrators. It starts in the schools with the teacher and the students who are doing the work of education. If we bring the right human qualities into the classrooms, we can build a society with more happiness, diversity, and equality, and a greater sense of the commonalities that tie us all. Thank you.